Welcome to Midnight Rabbi Inspires class number 38. Hope you're keeping count. And we are inspired with Emunah. That's what it's about every single time. But there is a lot of, with Emunah, you have faith, or they call it. But it really has to come with understanding and internalization and application. That's the idea of machshava dibur ma'aseh. We have to put it into reality. That's Erev Shabbos is a time of of deep machshava, to prepare ourselves on a deep level to makabel the Shabbos, and we are at the end of the Sfira of Netzach. Netzach is a very powerful victory, and we ended off last week's class with a little bit of abrupt. There was a quick ending, and I want to take that idea of intrinsic good. That's the power that we have within us, this intrinsic good. And I want us to help ourselves to be able to bring it into this new week, which we're coming up. Parshas B'chukosai is the idea of Sfira Hod, as we're counting in the Sfira Sa'omer. So now let me just try to speak a bit more English so you get it. So it's like this, and I get it. The idea of Hod is this idea of glory. And really what it comes down, even though there's a translation, but it comes from this idea of Dover, this low place that we all feel sometimes. We feel down. And I was listening to Tony Robbins. He gave me a lot of inspiration recently, and I've seen that he has it down to 90 seconds. 90 seconds is his time period. He allows himself to feel that pain, that feeling of, wow, I can't take it anymore, that kind of feeling. And that suffering feeling, he's got to the point where he can pin it into a certain time period, and then from there turn it around and go above it. And this is a very powerful strength that he has, and with all his success and his energy. But we're, as the Jewish people, we have to take those people out there, those concepts, and we have to internalize it in a Jewish way, that we have this power within being a spiritual nation, a nation of priests. I'm actually a Kohen, as we finished off last week, Emor, and now we're in Bahar. We're going into Shabbos up to the mountain with Shemitah, Shvius, the Zman, the time of where we go beyond the Shabbos in the world, and we go to this world of Jubilee, this world after 7 Shabboses, and 7 years times 7 years equals 49 years. We get to this 50th year, we get to this month of Yovel, this month of beyond time, the 8th week, the 8th, and that's Shavuos, the eighth time, this time beyond time. And that's also a powerful concept of Dror Ba'aretz, this idea of Dror Moshe Kasuto, one of our big inspirations as the Emunah channel's host. We have this ability to draw ba'aretz with freedom, real freedom, true freedom, to really feel this freedom in a powerful way. So we take this concept of Hod, which is davar, which is something very down, and we end up coming out with this big light. And that's a very powerful midah of Aharon Hakohen. I'm from a descendant from him. Like I said, I'm from the nation of priests, but I'm also a descendant from the priest of the priests, Aharon Hakohen. And that's my family. And then we have this idea of this Kohen, Ahav Shalom, Rodav Shalom, Karm Bris the Torah, which we're learning in Pirkei Avos, and we're already now coming up to the 3rd, 4th parak, depending where you are. And we have this Hod, this light. Amei Kulam Sadiqim, that he brings out the Kavod Asvecha, that everyone has this light, everyone has this shine, everyone has this intrinsic good. And that is the key to protect ourselves, as we're ending off last week's class, from all the crazy voices and people that are telling us this and that. This week at work, it was like a war, it was a muchama. It was a war, literally, the amount of calls and things going on. But we have to keep strong, believe in ourselves. And during the same week, I had the merit to have an article come out. You're welcome to check it out. It's in Times of Israel blog, and it was kindly written by Yosef Sherman. And he really he brought down my story in a very powerful, positive way, and he gave a lot of appreciation to my father. And obviously there's all the family and friends who have appreciation, all the people that supported me over all these years, and you can continue to support, because we'd like to put out more videos, and we'd like to do more projects. We'd like to even do the music projects, bring out this Hod, this covered, this intrinsic good more and more. I have to believe in myself, even when the world around me, as you see from this article, I'm not able to be the Midnight Rabbi 24/7, seemingly. I have to work at a certain customer service, and there's rules, and there's compliance, and policies, and there's QAs, and they're checking. But in the end, it's not. I don't need this to define me. I'm intrinsically good, and I will. Even though I would work to always improve and round off my skills, which I write about in that article which shared with Yosef Sherman, but this concept of times of Israel, what does it mean, times of Israel? in a special time, all the time, of Yisrael, being a Yid, being a Jew, Shema Yisrael. We have a connection to that special pasuk, the idea of listening, Shema, the Neshama, the Shema Yisrael, Yeshish, Mibis, Osis, the Toivis, Roshi Tevis, is Hilulah Bar Yochai, who's coming up, his special Hilulah Bar Yochai in the sphere of Hod Shebahod, the climax of this special time. This is the time where we really climax in our working on ourselves, so we could get the Lev Tov, the good heart. That's Gematria 49, these 49 days, and special time to really get those midas, those habits, those ways of being. They even put out an article where I work with the 10 habits of customer service, and over there we see the power once again of Stephen Covey and the concepts that really come back to the Esedibris, the 10 Commandments, which solidify inside every Jew in the Luchas Libecha. We have a Luchas, we have Torah in our heart, and we have to realize it's in us, and it's a light that can shine out, and that's the aura of Aharon Hakohen, that's the light of Hod. We turn this darkness that seems to be holding us down, this fight, this inner depression, Chas V'Shalom, that Hashem should save us from such feelings, and we should come out with this light of joy and this light of Hilulah Bar Yochai, a time where someone who passed away brought so much light, the Zohar Kodesh, the light of Kabbalah, of mysticism, the true light, the Messiah, Panemius, that goes all the way down through the Tzaddikim, through the Arizal Kodesh, through the Baal Shem, Tov Kodesh, and all the Tzaddikim, the Gra, and all the Tzaddikim from all the different camps, and the Orachaim Kodesh, all the different groups of Am Yisrael, comes this inner light, and it comes and substitutes into Tzaddikim that we have, Tzaddikim Amitim, the righteous people that guide us in the truest way. They are the Nahar, they're the ones who guide us and shepherd us through this time, every time. And they have this special light, this inner light, and we're all building it in some way, even though the world's gone very superficial, very external, very internal, how you represent yourself in the world with the internet. And there's an article, and there's this article, and there's this way of social media and this thing and that thing. It's all very powerful in terms of communicating to others, but the inner content, the inner aspects, this inner intrinsic worth that we were talking about last week, this is where it all comes down to, this inner value that we have. That's where we have to constantly build from. We have to get to know ourselves. That's the Hisbodedut, Hisbonanus, the thinking of Hashem, the greatness of Hashem, the Avos Hashem, the Yiras Hashem, the wonder of Hashem, the wondrous soul that Hashem gave to us to be Hisbonan and speak to Hashem, Hisbodedut, to go to know that part of ourselves and to have Cheshbon Hanesh, all the different paths of Am Yisrael. And Rabbi Nachman gave us that gift of power of speaking, and he gave us as that we have to focus on that positive part inside of us, to sing with that and rejoice with that. That's how I ended off my article, that everyone has that song inside them. Everyone can write their own song and they can sing and join that ultimate song, the song of Mashiach. So we have to realize that the Koved Atana Elokai Rebbe Shimon Bar Yochai, he was bringing down this light in the most powerful way, that we can all be part of that. And I bless us all to be part of that. And I want us all to share in that. And I want you to share these videos. I want you to share this light. I want you to look at my articles. I want you to look at Draw and on his Torahs. I want you to look at all the different Tzaddikim. I mentioned in the article there was more of Shifra Shachter and other Tzaddikim around, even though they don't seem like big Tzaddikim, but they have a connection to the Tzaddikim and they bring it out in a funny way and in a real way. And that's very important, that inner content that's so deep inside of us. We went through so much, us Jewish people. We have so much to offer the world. And right now there's a lot of light for coming out seemingly from the non-Jewish world in terms of these big speakers and these powerful people with success and money and everything, and we have respect for them, but we have to, as Jews, walk around, like Tony Robbins says, with strength and character, believe as a kuma, to come back to this land with strength and believe in ourselves and to believe in Hashem's mission that He gave us, and to have this Zamar Lekai Ba'odi real, to live it, really, to live it every day, to believe in ourselves. And the way when we're working on ourselves, the things we need to fix, it comes from a self-esteem, a deep self-esteem, and a deep joy and simcha. And that is the key, the joy. That will give us the power to be together, to fight off all the craziness that's coming out in the world nowadays, more and more and more, all these crazy tragedies and all these klalas, Hashem Shreinu, that should be turned to brochas and parashas B'chosai, that through simcha and through constantly believing in ourselves, that all the things, that crazy stuff going on in the world, we'll start to realize, like Rebbe Shimon is just a bunch of flies flying around us, we could push it away and we could be who we are, be malchusdik, be holy, and get ready for this special time of Chag Shavuos, where we receive our Torah, Esedibus, we become a nation of unity and unified and a light unto the nations. We can do that. We have it in us. It's intrinsic. We don't have to get down by all this, the suffering seemingly around us. We have the power to overcome it, and we have to believe it's an inner light that's coming out and it's getting deeper and deeper and bigger. The Or Mashiach and Cheshbon Bar Yochai is a proof. We go to Meron, you see it in your eyes. You see with real people going crazy for Hashem and for light, and all kinds of Jews together, and we see that by Bar Yochai and LagB'omer, and we see it every year when we come to special times of year with Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur, special times. These times we see that how the Jewish people are one, and this is the truth. And we should see that Shofar God will grow, that light within that comes out, that breath of godliness come out more and more in everything we do. And how do you make this practical? You make it practical every day to think about this. And like Tony Robbins himself says, you have to give at least 10 minutes every morning, at least 10 minutes for your life. Your life is that important. You can give 10 minutes. Rebbe Shimon says one shah, 1 hour, however you want to go, but just put time in and put that time into talk and find yourself. And that's what this video is. It's been over 10 minutes already. So I'm going to stop it now, and I'm going to ask you to share this light yourself. You can pass it on and you can build your own light. And I want to hear your inspiration. You give some feedback. I don't want to just keep putting these things up, just see it sit there. I want it to go for other people outside of your circle, so that the circles and circles, like Stephen Covey says, we can influence the circle beyond ourselves, our family, our friends, till the point where the whole world is together is in our sphere of influence, and in a spiritual, true way. That should be Laman Hashem, should be for Hashem. We should be danced, please God, this LagB'omer. Hopefully I'm going to see Nissim and his family. Finally, we didn't work it out, pace a bit. There's LagB'omer to bring people together with a fire that we light, that hadlaka that lights up the world. It lights up and gets rid of all the klipas, all the negativity. Light up those hadlakas, those fires that LagB'omer brings down, this fire. And this, even though I'm going to be working the rest of LagB'omer, but then there's this idea, it's a fire within, and it burns as everything we do. We're coming closer and closer to our purpose, to our mission, to finance our family, to be happy, to serve Hashem with simcha, and to do everything with this inner intrinsic worth. And that's my class, Intrinsic Worth. Share it, feel good,